the road coming out of Stratford is pitch black. So like you really have to
unlit. This is why I was trying to keep you awake by reading every Stratford musical for the past 50 years.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Off to Broadway, the podcast where we deep dive into anything and everything musical theater. I'm Tara.
I'm Stefania.
And in today's episode, it's time for another edition of Off to Stratford. And this year, we saw Guys and Dolls and Othello. And welcome back physical props to us.
Honestly, that, I realized, I was looking at my pile of playbills because I keep my yearly playbills programs like in order. A lot of stuff this year missing. People are really moving away from the physical program. We didn't buy any in the West End. A lot of times it's like QR code and it's hard to track now. So yeah, I'm a little,
you know who's always reliable? Stratford. When you have a big subscriber base, you know you're getting a program. So thank you to Stratford. Yes. Thank you for your service. We've missed holding something while in a theater. You know what I didn't miss though? In between shows where I'm like, where do I put this?
I know. We need to get like a specific bag to like carry it. But then
my new bag like fits, but yeah, maybe we need like a folder bag.
Just like a clutch with a playbill. Yes, yeah. I had to like serve a fashion look, so I had a beaded bag that kind of fits nothing. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'm holding this. But
yeah, my Othello was slightly rolled because I was walking with it rolled for, the afternoon. Anyway, all this to say, a bit of a different trip for us this season because we saw a Shakespeare for the first time in this podcast record. I've seen one Shakespeare previously at Stratford. Have you seen one before?
No, I'd never seen a Shakespeare at Stratford before.
Wow.
I'd seen, others, obviously, but...
Yes. And then we saw one of the musicals, Guys and Dolls, because the other musical was Something Rotten, and you can go listen to our Something Rotten episode if you want to hear what we thought about that.
To be fair, it was, like, it's a revival of the exact same production from 2 seasons ago. Like, we saw it. We saw it. It wasn't something that I felt so strongly or passionately about to need to see it again immediately. So why not take the opportunity and use our road trip to see something new? And we got to be in a new theater because we saw Othello. So we had a good time.
Yeah. One regret is I saw photos of the Tempest afterwards. And I was like,
oh, did you?
Damn. It's beautiful. It's all like underwater. Sure. They have like these beautiful jellyfish costumes. Like it's so maximalist, and Othello was so minimalist.
It was very minimal.
So it was like totally different.
Is it also at the Tom Patterson? Is the Tempest also at the Tom Patterson, or is it
that's a good question. I'm not sure. For some reason, I want to say I don't know. There's like so much going. It is a rotating door at those theaters. One time we talked about this when we were there, but one time we would love to attend the theater turnover when we go to Stratford. Which basically you can buy tickets for that online. It's like when the afternoon show ends. I don't know if it's like a new batch of people or if it's people that like have tickets to a show and then also tickets to this, or if it's like literally you can just go in. But basically like you can watch them turn the stage over from the afternoon show to the night show because it's never the same show. So I'm fascinated by that. Would love to do that one year. We just have to like... it's already hard enough to find a day when the 2 shows we want to see are playing on a Saturday because we're driving up from Toronto. But then to also fit something like that in, we'd have to do some research. But it is something I think that would be pretty cool. And if you're listening and just know that it's out there, there's like fun things on Stratford's website that are like backstage worthy.
Yeah, there are lots of fun things that I kind of, because we come from Toronto, we have to be really thinking about what we're able to, take advantage of. But sometimes I know they have like dance classes or the stage turnover or talkbacks. So yeah, maybe another year, something to think about. We're always thinking, what else can we be doing?
We accidentally stumbled into a talkback when we saw Billy Elliot.
Yeah, there was a talkback. There was a talkback. Yeah. I'm like scrolling through. They have this Wednesday, so you'll have heard this already.
This has passed,
like it'll have passed already, but there's a costumes and props tour that you can go to.
Oh, fun.
Like that's so fun. So there are other things that you can take advantage of at the festival in addition to, the PWC Friday coffee chats. Look at that. PricewaterhouseCooper. I'm just like scrolling. Song and Dance Something Rotten. I think this is like
The dance
a dance class. Lobby Talk, Waiting for Godot. I'm really here. I'm scrolling. Song and Dance, Guys and Dolls. On
the other thing too
Sunday.
is that like if anyone is listening to us from Toronto, there is newly this year a GO train that goes now to Stratford. It is really only beneficial if you were seeing a matinee because the final train back to the city is at like 6:15 p.m. But I think the first one is out at 8 a.m. So, and it's definitely like a faster way than, you know, driving from downtown Toronto. Although I have to say, in all of our years, this was our fastest journey to Stratford yet.
On the way there? Yeah, it was a
Yes.
good drive. It was a good drive on the way there.
It was also a beautiful day, which, you know, doesn't always happen. So we, I think, really lucked out with the weather, with the non-existent traffic. And yeah, it was like, you know, we always like going out there. We will talk about like repeat offenders later in this episode because we will be doing, you know, a rumor chat section. But for the time being, we are not going to do a full review, I guess, on Othello because, like, to be honest, I don't feel equipped to talk about Shakespeare.
Sometimes I'm like, am I dumb? No.
Literally, I feel the same way when we were in the audience and people were like laughing so early. I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm really not getting it right now. And then also I will say, like, we will talk probably a bit more about Guys and Dolls than Othello, but like as a tease for maybe the rest of how this episode is going to go, have not thought about either of these shows since we saw them.
I know. Unfortunately, this was a fine year for me. This was not my favorite year at the Stratford Festival, but they can't all be winners. We want to have a diverse selection of shows. You know, I'm happy to have seen Guys and Dolls as like a classic musical, like check it off the list. I'm happy to have seen a Shakespeare. I'm definitely open to seeing more at the theater, at like the Stratford Festival. Again, I thought they were both like good productions of the shows that they were. I remember loving Othello when I read it in high school. But I don't feel like I got that same feeling when
I never read it, so this was foreign to me. And Shar, it was foreign to Shar too. Both of us had not read Othello. I feel like if you grew up in Ontario, but probably many places, we would read Shakespeare in high school. But in my school, and I think in your school too, unless you guys all read the exact same thing.
I think we all read Othello.
Oh, that's so interesting. Well, at our high school, because Shar and I went to the same high school, we would rotate. Like one English class would read one Shakespeare and another would read something. There was
you only had so many copies of the book.
That's probably what it was. I think everybody read Romeo and Juliet in grade 9, and I think everybody read Hamlet in grade 12.
Yes, I remember. That's what we did as well.
But 10 and 11 were kind of like mishmash.
We all did Macbeth in grade 10.
I read Macbeth as well, and then I read King Lear.
Yeah, I read Othello in grade 11. I actually, I think we all did Othello, but I'm also gonna, not humble brag, but I was in the AP classes, and so we all did that. So I don't actually know what the other classes were doing.
Because I feel like there were some classes that also read Midsummer Night's Dream, but I never read that.
We never read a comedy in high school.
Or Twelfth Night. Same.
I read Midsummer Night's Dream in university.
Oh, fun. Speaking of Twelfth Night, that's playing at
this summer.
Shakespeare in the Park with Canadian Stage this summer. So that's also something that we will be, looking at.
Yeah.
In the next coming days, weeks, months. Anyway, all this to say, the matinee we saw was Othello, as you said, at the Tom Patterson Theater. Luxe in there, people. That's a rich theater.
It's so nice. It's brand new. We were reading all the sponsor, the donor names. The biggest donor, the government of Ontario. Thank you so much.
Shout out. I have to say, because I was the only one of the three of us that went to go look at the bathroom. I also used the bathroom, but I went to go look at the bathroom. I walked out, I was like, this is a hotel. It feels nice. It's so rich. There's a cafeteria in there. People were eating. You could order sandwiches to eat on the outside patio. I don't know. It's stone, I guess is how I would describe the inside. It's almost that wall of the donors was a beigey, beautiful stone looking. Mm-hmm. And then the theater is in the round.
Like a three sides, I would say.
Yeah. Good legroom. And comfy seats.
Yes. When we walked in, it also has beautiful greenery around it, the garden as you walk in. It's a nice experience to walk in. When we were walking in, I'm like, oh, it's Robert Marcus's and Jen Ryder Shaw's wedding venue.
Yeah, I also feel like I've seen many Stratford actors that have like gotten married and like just take photos outside of the Tom Patterson as well.
Beautiful.
So I feel like it's a hot spot for photographers if you live in the city of Stratford, a beautiful place for wedding photos. But yeah, like I again had like no knowledge of Othello other than reading the synopsis. You know, we did know that it featured someone we've seen in many shows, Evan Bueling.
Yes. Love him.
I just have to say, like, I feel for you in that leather outfit because we were sweating up in there.
It was sweaty in there. Yeah, I do think the standout of the show, and also like the character of Iago is such a standout, like one of Shakespeare's kind of best like villains foils. And so for Evan's like performance of him, he really like stole the show. But I thought a lot of people really were giving great performances.
Jessica B. Hill as Amelia, my God, my favorite of the whole day.
Oh, yeah?
On both shows,
Yes.
I think. I loved her.
Wait, I'm looking for her. Oh, yes, Jessica B. Hill. Who was she in?
No, I just think, like, in general, she was, like,
Oh,
my
she was your
standout
favorite
actor
performance
of, like,
of the
the
whole
day.
day? Of the
I
whole
think so.
day. Wow.
We
No,
were
she was great. I liked her.
acting.
She was really great. I liked her a lot. I'm trying to think who else I really liked. I mean, so many people. I mean, Kristen Pellerin, who played, like, Desdemona.
Yeah, she was great.
R.I.P. Liked her a lot. Yeah, I most people were giving great performances in this. Who is our... Oh, yeah, Andre Sills as Othello in Othello.
He was great.
So charming.
Oh my
so
God,
great.
the one that at the end, I was like, because sometimes I'll read, you know, the programs as we go through or at intermission or whatever, but at intermission, I feel like we were just like talking about the show. And then I had seen him earlier, but then I was like, wait, I know this man. Mike Nadajewski, a stand-up to me as playing the devil in the Damn Yankees at Shaw.
I forget.
He
Applegate.
was so, like, memorable to me. He's also playing Puck in Midsummer Night's Dream, which is, like, obviously such a
which is like a
fun-
great
no, the
casting.
thing that we could not stop laughing at was, you know, we have Othello, we have Iago, and then we have Michael Cassio. And I'm just like, how do we get to Michael Cassio?
Michael Cassio.
From Othello and
Cassio.
Iago.
Michael Cassio. Love him. He's just not that smart at the end of the day. He's a little bit... It wasn't his fault necessarily.
all
Like,
just
Iago's, like,
speak to each
puppeteering,
other.
but...
Yeah, like, for a basic synopsis of... I don't even know if I could give a basic synopsis of Othello.
Attempt,
but, like,
try.
Othello is married to Desdemona, which already has, like, caused some chaos, I think, within her family. Which, like, my note on that, Shakespeare, we had, like, a really good scene from the woman that played her mother off the top, and then we, like, never saw her again. I liked her, so I think we could have, like, brought her back. And then we have Iago, who's Othello's best friend, who's married to Amelia, but he is, like, literally such a shit disturber, that man. Like, all he wants to do is stir the pot for no reason. And then we have Michael Cassio, who... what's his relationship to Othello? He's like one of his soldiers, right?
Yeah, he's like his right-hand man, his bestie.
So basically what happens is Iago, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but I didn't get the reason that he did it. But out of nowhere to me, he was just like, you know, I'm going to pit these two against each other and like really cause drama. And
I think Iago's looking for power in, you know, their relationship. And he is, I've Googled this, but yeah, I think he's looking for more power by trying to be closer to Othello.
Right.
And also Othello kind of passed him over for Michael Cassio for his like lieutenant.
We should also say this is like one of the Shakespeare shows that like deals with race. Because I would say a lot of them don't. Or it's not as explicit as this. There's like obviously lines. But Iago basically like starts a rumor with like very bad evidence, but Othello falls for it, that Michael Cassio and Desdemona are having an affair. And it's all to do with his like handkerchief that he gave her that has like strawberries on it, blah, 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 blah. We end in multiple deaths.
Well, he
not
like
as many as I
plants
thought.
the evidence. He plants the evidence of the
Yes.
handkerchief. Yes, I know.
We
you know,
had
a lot of
heard that
people
this
died
was
at
one
the
of
end
the
Shakespeare.
most violent Shakespeares. I disagree.
I mean, it does end in like a strangulation, suffocation, murder.
Yeah, you're right.
So
but like,
that was pretty.
I wanted more fighting.
It was pretty rough. Sure. Yeah. Not enough sword fighting in this one. Like some, but could be more.
Not enough.
Could be more.
They also played with these, like, I don't even know what you would call those things. Almost like stone benches that created different
benches, like arches. It almost felt like it was like a church, like a part of a Gothic church to me, like disassembled, and then they moved the piece. Sometimes some of them were suspended from the ceiling, and they'd bring them up and down, or they brought out pieces to create the set. Nothing was ever fully constructed. It was more of like a suggestion of like the location they were in.
Mm-hmm. And then
I thought it was really beautiful when the curtains came down around the bed.
Yes, yeah. There was one scene that I loved when they were like, Michael Cassio was being poisoned. They were getting him drunk. One of the two things. Drugged, something. But like we were kind of playing with like slow motion on stage, which I really loved. It was like almost strobing, spotlight, and then like sound effect and, that would make it really cool. Evan did sing a couple bars in this show as well, coming up from like the steps underneath the stage. No, it was good. It was a good production. I think it like broke the seal of seeing Shakespeare there, which almost felt like intimidating. I know that's what most people go to see when they go to the Stratford Festival.
That's like the original, that was the original purpose of the festival, to do Shakespeare.
And I guess, like, sometimes, you know, it is hard for us when we are wanting to see the musicals and we're really only going out to Stratford once. So we typically like to see both of those in the same day. But because we had an open spot, I'm, like, happy that we saw it. And I would love to see another Shakespeare at the Stratford Festival.
Yeah, I agree. I know. We'll talk about later, like, the rumors of what's happening next year. But if true, I think another Shakespeare's in our future, or, you know, maybe a straight play, maybe an original play.
I mean, The Hobbit looks really nice this year. I said this on the way to the car when we were leaving. My like biggest regret from a previous Stratford Festival is not seeing Anne of Green Gables, because I had heard like such incredible things.
That was supposed to be a great production. Yes,
yeah.
I agree. But we're also very lucky this upcoming Mirvish subscriber season. We have A Salesman in China, which originated, I believe, at the Stratford Festival.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Some of these original plays will continue to have life, like ongoing. But yeah, its world premiere was at the Stratford Festival.
What year?
And now, that's a good question. Was it last year?
It wasn't that long ago.
2024. So 2 years ago.
So a couple years ago. The other thing that we didn't mention is that like this is the current artistic director Anthony Cimolino's final season, and a lot of the stuff that is featured in this season is like things that he loved, productions that he loved. So
specifically
that's why
the
there's
musicals,
like remounts. Yeah. Of these. You know, you did a full deep dive on our way home, going really far back. And Othello has been at the festival many, 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 many times.
Yes. I mean, the Shakespeares, there's only so many there. And honestly, I was like on Reddit, and some people have done really good work of like tracking how often each Shakespeare is done and when each Shakespeare is kind of due for its next production of the Stratford Festival. Because those are like mainstays. Like I think there's 3 Shakespeare's this year. So Tempest, Othello, and Midsummer. So, you know, there's something for everyone here. But yeah, and I was interested specifically because we were talking about, we were on the way home from the musical. The musical is our second show that we saw. And we were just kind of thinking about like what kind of direction or what kind of decisions we'd want, what we're looking for out of the Stratford Festival in terms of musicals specifically, because that's obviously like our passion, our bread and butter here at Off Broadway. And so, yeah, I was like, you know, I was probably boring you guys in the front seat, me in the back.
No, I loved
it.
Through
every single year of like what
you went all the way down to like 1970.
And then I was like, okay, I'm going over to Shaw Festival. Okay, like let's go.
Let's see what
Wikipedia is well maintained. Wikipedia is well maintained. Thank you.
Yeah, so shout out to the person that's updating the Wikipedia page, because like you're doing the real work for us.
Yeah, please.
So yeah, did somebody say like what the potential Shakespeare could be next season on Reddit? Like what is the track?
Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they had a few that were like due for their next production, but
I can tell you it will not be Othello, The Tempest, or Midsummer Night's Dream. So
probably not. But the thing is, I love Midsummer. I think Midsummer is like
That was also
one
an
of my favorites.
option that we were interested in, but it just didn't like work out with Guys and Dolls.
Yeah, like the dates are kind of.
It perfectly works out with Something Rotten if you're willing to see that. If
Yeah.
you want to see that show, those two are a really good time slot match.
What a pair of comedies.
Yeah, really. I think that's at the Festival Theater as well.
So I looked, The Tempest was at the Festival Theater, and let's see, Midsummer, that's at the Tom Patterson.
Oh, okay.
So where we were.
And then we know that like Death of a Salesman and The Hobbit were playing at the Avon because we went to the
Avon,
store.
yeah.
So we saw that there. But yeah. Also, shout out to Lauren, who works at the store at the Avon.
Yes.
Thanks for saying hi to us again.
Thanks for saying hi.
So then we went out for dinner. We went to Fellini's, which we had never been to, which is crazy because I literally think it's listed on the website as like Stratford's #1 Italian restaurant. But we are what's that restaurant called again that we've been to a million times?
Pazzo.
Yeah, we're loyal to them. But I was
twice,
I was like, let's try something new. And the food was decent at Fellini.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the food.
We
liked the wine. We
liked the wine so much that I went to get 3 bottles at El Subio. One was we had it this weekend at Steph's Barbecue. But it's hard to find that wine. It's only at certain LCBOs. So just so you know, if you're looking for Grand Sud, I think is what it's called, you have to search this online. You don't just walk into your local LCBO. And it's only $14 for a 1 liter bottle. This is like so Canadian because obviously this does not exist in the States. If you're listening to us in the States, there's no, Liquor Control Board of Canada over there. Or I guess it's Ontario.
It's Ontario.
Sorry.
It's provincial.
And if you're listening to us in like Quebec, SAQ, I don't know what's there. I'm not sure about like Vancouver. I only know Ontario or the grocery stores. Anyway, all this to say, we went to Fellini's. Again, it was like such a beautiful day. So we like walked along the water after the Tom Patterson and we walked back along the water with all of the geese, and we learned about the swans, if you'd like to talk about the swans.
I was going to say, we got gelato. We got ice cream.
We did, it was pretty good.
Angela's Gelateria. What were we learning about the swans? Oh, yes. Usually every year they have like a parade for where they keep them in the winter to bring them out to the river, but it was causing a lot of stress on the swans and on like the caregivers to the swans because they're like, is the weather good? Are the swans ready? So this year, for the first time, they brought them out to the river in their own time with no prior announcement or ceremony, just for everyone's, mental health.
I just thought everyone needed to know that because that's the exact same spiel that we got on the way to the Festival Theater.
I was like on Wikipedia reading about the swans.
And there was also a sign we saw.
There was a sign.
And then I saw someone post today. I was just like on Instagram and I guess I was like served something from Stratford. Apparently along the river close to the bridge, there's these new little tulip chairs. So they're basically made of plastic and they fold up. And when they're folded up, they have like the ridges of a tulip, but then you can like pull the seat down and like sit in the head of the tulip. It's very cute. So if you're out there now, it looks like they're adding some things around the river area there. And they still have lots of, if you go to like Destination Stratford's website, they still have lots of the like alfresco dining options. People were eating like out there under the like lights.
On the island.
It's like, it's so beautiful there. It's like when it's a nice day, and it was.
Yeah, it's just the best.
It's just like so pretty there.
Do you remember that time that we went like during COVID and our first show was at 11, our second show was at like 7, so we had truly like 7 hours to kill.
What did we do that time? Where did we eat? Because like were restaurants even really
we
open?
Brought our own food.
Oh my god, you're right. I made like a pasta salad.
Yeah, you made like a pasta salad. I brought like strawberries and like cookies, and we had like, we went to the Shakespeare Garden.
Yeah.
We walked around.
There was a wedding that time, wasn't there?
There were like multiple weddings. We were watching people take pictures for weddings.
That was probably the longest we've spent in Stratford because we had to get there like so early and then we had so much time to kill in between. We had also heard the 5 p.m. show like rehearsing while we were like walking
walked by like
they were singing Aida
at 5 o'clock. Yeah. Which we then saw later that night. So we saw it all.
Anyway, all this to say, the night show that we saw was at the Festival Theater, and it's Guys and Dolls. We did not see this in 2017 when it first was, or not first, it had been, I think, at the Stratford Festival previously, but I'm saying first as in when, we became the theater goers to the Stratford Festival.
So this is a exact remount of the Donna Fiore production from 2017. And like we were saying, Anthony Cimolino, some of his faves remounted. And I think someone was telling us Guys and Dolls is his favorite. So there you go.
And yeah, like I said, at the Festival Theater, which we've been in many, many times. What is your knowledge, if any, of Guys and Dolls before you saw this?
I gotta be honest, like very little.
Same.
I knew Luck Be a Lady. Luck be a lady tonight. And famously, the 2009 Tony
Of course,
Award
I was going to
opening.
bring this up. I was like, wait, this was an iconic Tony Awards opening number, 2009.
And someone came out and sang Luck Be a Lady like during that.
Wasn't it
and
Bobby
was like, Luck Be a Lady
Cannavale?
tonight. Was it Bobby Cannavale? Someone sang Luck Be a Lady, and then they mashed it up with like Tonight from West Side Story.
But that's not
great.
the iconic part. The iconic part is Sutton Foster doing vocal trills in the background and her mic was up.
And then also, I think the performance that he did later was Sit Down, You Rockin' the Boat, and it was like Titus Burgess. And then his microphone didn't work, so someone like brought him out a microphone.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I only remember the opening number.
The opening number, yes. Luck Be a Lady Tonight, mashed up with Tonight, mashed up with Sutton Foster warming up backstage.
Oh my God, Lauren Graham was in
Fiona
that
outfit.
cast.
Who was she?
Miss Adelaide.
Oh.
Like, who's Miss Adelaide? Oh,
Like,
Jen Render Shaw.
Jen. Yeah.
Sorry, the name, escaped me for a minute. Okay, yeah, Titus Burgess. Maybe it wasn't Bobby Cannavale, but like in my mind it was.
It was
wow,
not
a
Bobby
very
Cannavale.
young Nick Adams. Mary Testa was in this 2009 revival. Who else was here? Oliver Platt, who was Nathan Detroit. That makes sense to me.
Does it?
Actually, maybe not. You know who I thought was Bobby Cannavale here? This Craig Burko.
Craig Bierko, yeah.
He's
I
just,
sort of see it.
he's giving Italian. Like, that's really all he's giving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Titus Burgess.
Yeah, same as you. I really have like no knowledge on Guys and Dolls. I know it was a movie, never seen it. Wasn't Frank Sinatra in the movie? Or am I making that
I
up
believe
too?
yes. I think you're right.
But it opened on Broadway in like the 50s, and then it has been revived a few times. So 1976 there was a revival, 1992 there was a Broadway revival, and then most recently 2009, and then in 2023 was that like immersive West End Guys and Dolls, which we had heard like such incredible things about.
Yeah.
Now seeing the show, I'm like, I don't know. That,
How was
like,
it immersive? What were we immersed
yeah,
in?
like, were the girls dancing like much more in the crowd? I need to watch, I guess, like a Mickey Joe Theater vlog to figure this out because he was definitely there. But the photos of that are like so amazing. All the neon signs in the West End.
Yes. I mean, we had a great...
It was a beautiful set.
Stratford Festival loves to do a neon sign as well. I sometimes when the set came up, because it was New York as well, it reminded me of Annie from last season with like the billboards and the flashing lights. I mean, the festival theater, it's like a thrust, but then it also has like a second level.
Yeah.
And so all the shows use that like second level, that doorway entry. It's funny. I was on Instagram earlier today, and Heather Kosick, past guest of the podcast, posted a clip of her and her husband, also past guest of the podcast, Devin Brown, like doing lifts in the rehearsal space. And the rehearsal space is set up with that like second level.
Oh, fun.
Already. Like it's set up exactly like the stage there, which makes sense, of course, but it just never.
This season. Devin is obviously here, but Heather is not.
Devin is there. So interestingly, in that video, she said she hadn't danced in a year. So I'm wondering if she's like
She's been
pivoting
doing
her
film
career in
and
some way.
TV.
Yeah.
I've been watching some of her TikToks of her auditions that she's been posting. So yeah, so interesting. Both of them beautiful dancers. We'll talk about Devin more in a bit when we get into some of this. Yeah, like as you said, like Stratford always, serving a great set, like everything always looks so high budget. We need to speak on the pinstripe suit and hat budget of this show because damn.
Yeah, I know. Every
man is wearing a pinstripe suit and a fedora. It's kind of crazy. And then so many people that we've seen in previous shows, I have to say, like, a lot of this cast is, you know, split with the Something Rotten cast, and just knowing like the nature of that show, like those are two pretty demanding shows, I would say, for these cast members.
That ensemble, the crossover, the physiotherapy budget must be crazy.
But also, like, our main characters here, like Dan Shamroy, Mark Ure, like, they are playing, you know, main characters in Something Rotten. They're playing basically main characters in this. Like, it's a big sing for a double show day that, like, is so completely different. Obviously, we're doing, like, accents in Guys and Dolls that we're not doing in Something Rotten. But Dan Shamroy is doing an insane performance in Something Rotten as Nosferatu. Nostradamus, not Nosferatu.
Not Nosferatu.
Is he based on Nosferatu?
No. Nosferatu's like a vampire.
Nostradamus was like... Nostradamus, yes. Anyway, so it's like kind of, you know, it's a big double show for some of these people.
Yeah.
And I will say, maybe now is the time to say it. You could tell that this was their second show of the day for some of these people.
Well, wow. I have so many notes. Yeah, there were moments, I think especially in Act 1, where I always feel like I can rely on the Stratford Festival for amazing dancing and choreography. And this was the first time in a long time. Even
I think ever.
I feel like sometimes even when I feel like the choreography is lacking, I never feel like the dancers or the ensemble is like not doing everything that they can be. But Act 1 specifically felt really rough around the edges. And it's hard. Sloppy. The specific scene we're talking about when they're in like Havana, there were so many people on stage. Like, there's so much going on. I'm sure it's hard to manage. It's hard to just like even know where you are and not hit people. But it just
set pieces that are like flying around at this point.
Yeah, people are flipping.
Oh my! It felt so sloppy.
It felt not great. And yeah, I feel like it needs to be cleaned or like pulled back a little bit. And maybe they're, you know, trying to add to the element of like, she's in a new place. She's so like prim and proper, and she's somewhere that's like, you know, wild. But it's hard when clearly like 4 pairs are supposed to be in sync doing something, and they're all like coming in and out of lifts at different timings. Like, these are hard things to do. Like, they're not easy things to do. But
I was stressed watching the lift as well. I was like, I don't know that like he has her right now. That's what it felt like to me. And then yes, as you're saying, like the in syncness, like we were not in sync during the Havana number. Yeah, it's like interesting because again, like as you said, and as I said, like I've never felt this way about Stratford. We've definitely felt this way about other production companies, but Stratford has always been like tight on choreography.
Quality, crisp, clean dancing.
And it was a little stressful watching them in Act 1. Don't worry though, they did redeem themselves in Act 2.
No,
so
this is the like kind of upsetting part is that in Act 2 we had the kind of, you know, what's it called? The Crapshooters Ballet that they call it, like the prologue to Luck Be a Lady, and that was stunning. Kind of one of the greatest pieces of dance and choreography I've seen on the Stratford stage. And
it's actually the best part of the entire show.
No, absolutely. Like, such a highlight. And it was so frustrating to watch that after we'd seen kind of what we felt was like quite messy in Act 1. And like so much time had been spent on this Crapshooters Ballet, and just like the crispness, the togetherness of the like group
Shout
pieces.
out Devin. You were really working.
Yes. You were working. Who else am I going to shout out here?
Oh, our new favorite Stratford Festival employee. They are
Wade Pierre Buller. Like,
so good. They were actually the best part of the Havana number too, because just flipping in the back on trampoline.
Yeah, just doing like really, really fun things that just like added to the choreography. Yeah, so the second act, such a highlight. And yeah, it was just like almost emotional watching it because it was so much fun. There was kind of like the closest thing I can compare it to is like a big Newsies number. Just all the guys coming out.
Or whatever it's called. What's the song?
Yeah.
It's not Seize the Day. Is it Seize the Day?
Seize the Day? Carrying the banner?
Seize the Day. One of those. Whenever they do the big dance number with the newspaper on the floor. That's the one.
It was so much fun. And that was really the highlight of the show, of the whole weekend, of, you know, so many things we've seen. Maybe one of the best things we've seen at the Stratford Festival. And I think that is also like probably why Anthony Cimolino like loves this show so much, because that has like, I don't know, it's just a special moment in the show. But yeah, I didn't feel like the rest of the show matched up necessarily to what that number was giving.
We do have a question for Devin if he happens to be listening, but like, are you wearing your Guys and Dolls outfit in
Original.
Something Rotten as well? Well, original, but then also is your costume
Also,
being left at the theater because he does wear
That's
that
true.
in Omelette the Musical in Something Rotten.
That's true. He told us when he was on 2 years ago that it was the original Guys and Dolls suit that he would wear in Something Rotten. But now, you know, which show gets it? Does it still fit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should we give a bit of a synopsis of Guys and Dolls for anyone that doesn't know? Should I just read what's here?
Yeah, do it. Read.
It's kind of long, but like we're in New York. And it's basically like a story that follows a cast of gamblers and showgirls, gamblers being the guys, dolls being the showgirls, and also mission workers whose lives collide in an unexpected way. Then we have Nathan Detroit, who Mark Gere plays. He scrambles to secure a venue for his famed but illicit craps game. I'll come back to this in a second because I do have the rules of craps Googled and ready to go because we were also trying to figure this out. And he's also trying to keep peace with his devoted fiancée, Miss Adelaide, Jen Ryder Shaw. To raise money he needs for the game, Nathan makes a daring wager with slick high roller Sky Masterson, who was played by Dan Shamroy. And he bets him that he can't get the missionary leader, Sarah Brown. Oh my God, what's her name? Olivia St. Clair Brisbane, to go with him to Havana. And then we kind of like watch all of this unfold. Obviously, there's, you know, people fall in love. And
I'm shocked.
We have like a wedding at the end. I think we've maybe said this previously, but I will say it again. The talent of Jen Ryder Shaw like needs to be studied. Like, she
amazing.
is a
Her
force
voice,
on that
crazy.
stage.
Yeah, I love her. I know we're in good hands whenever she's there. I agree. I think when I knew she was playing like one of the starring roles in this, I was like, oh, we're going to have so much fun with her.
The second she walked out with her New York accent, I was like, oh, girl, I'm ready. In a blonde wig, like she looked amazing. But her voice is so crazy. I don't know. It's so funny because like the last show we saw her in Annie last year.
Yeah.
Like, a totally different character, also set, you know, in New York. But this is so different. She's playing like the head showgirl basically in this.
Yeah.
But when I was watching her, I was like, oh, like you could be on Broadway. Like you are that good. Like you are at that level.
Absolutely. So many talented
So many of them
people
are
at the Stratford Festival. But yeah, no, I think she's great. And one of the great things about going to Stratford Festival year after year, with the like repertory of actors that they've built up that we get to see in shows year after year, and you really get to see them like stretch their muscles and do so many different things. Like speaking of Jen, last year she was in Annie. The time before we saw her was in Spamalot. We saw her in Chicago, like so pregnant in Spamalot. We saw her in Chicago. Just like all of these roles are asking so many different things from her, and she's kind of just nailing them all. I do have like a criticism on that kind of element though.
Say it.
Okay. I don't know that we needed Dan Shamroy in Guys and Dolls.
Oh,
So
I thought you were
sorry.
going to say something about her.
No.
I think we all, you know what's so funny? We were at, you know, the store and Lauren told us that Dan was going to be out. And we were like, oh, that's sad, but like, that's fine. He wasn't. He was absolutely in.
He was there.
Don't get me wrong. I love Dan Shamroy.
No,
It's like
love. He's
publicly
so great.
documented on this podcast how much
Every
we love
year.
Dan Shamroy. He's too
And we've
old
seen
for
him
this
do
part.
so many things. Yeah, but I was like, I'm not buying this love.
He's perfectly cast in The Afternoon in Something Rotten, and he's like absolutely miscast, I think, in this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
And again, this is like a feature of like the repertory company where they are doing two shows. Dan Shamroy never does an ensemble, not never, but he doesn't really do an ensemble part at this time. Sometimes people will like be a lead in one show and more of like a featured ensemble in the second show, or a swing or something in the second show.
This is his lead, is in Guys and Dolls. Like Mr. Jamis is like more of a feature character, I would say, in Something Rotten. Like this is his. Nothing will ever match The Dentist. Sorry, nothing will ever match that. Because Billy Flynn was also great. He's a great Billy Flynn.
Let's talk about Billy Elliot's father. Billy Elliot. No, like, we have seen him do so many different things, but
Also,
not
he was Trunchbull in Matilda, no?
He was Trunchbull in Matilda in Toronto, which we did see him in. I'm like we've seen him.
He
in
was
so many
Frankenfurter
things.
in Rocky Horror, which we did not see, but I can only imagine.
Amazing. Amazing. Not every show is right for him. And I know we want to see his talent. We want to hear him sing. He's got a great voice. He's a good actor. But especially opposite Olivia Sinclair Brisbane, the age gap just came across as quite large to me.
Yeah,
as an
also
member,
because
and it just felt not right.
And also because the character that she plays is so innocent and young feeling that, like, and this is not to say that, like, the man is like 80 years old and feels crazy, because he's absolutely not. But he does read older than a lot of the ensemble men, for sure. I'd be like, who's his understudy? I'm so curious to know, like, who plays that character and, like, what is maybe the age range there.
Yeah.
I like, and I like totally agree with you, but also at the same time, I was like, oh, his Luck Be a Lady Tonight was like great, like that was fun.
Yeah, of course.
Him with all the men, like that's what I want to see him do. But yeah, I also did not believe the romance one bit between the two of them. I did believe the romance between Mark Ure and Jen Ryder-Shaw, though. Loved those two together.
Okay, so yes, I did believe the romance between them. But what I am going to say, and this was like maybe the biggest turnoff for me from Guys and Dolls, I was like, don't marry that loser. Like, 14 years? 14 years? Like, girl, you can do better.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, it's just like a funny plot, but I was like, this is so annoying to me.
Yeah, he's like, he
has
got
no
engaged 14 years ago. He has no money. He spends all his money, like, playing craps, which, here's the time. Craps, a fast-paced dice game where players bet on the outcome of a roll or series of rolls. This part was, like, not so clear to me. So the fundamental bet is the pass line. If you win, you win if the first roll is a 7 or an 11. You lose if it's a 2 or a 3 or a 12. And then any other number becomes a point. So there is a point system, but that was, like, not clear to me because they're just, like, you know, willy-nilly throwing dice.
I don't know if it needs to be that clear, I guess. Like, we're just...
But
like,
I can
seeing the results or anything.
I can see how, like, in the 50s when this first came out, this was probably, like, so of the time,
the height
so
of romance.
Fun. Yes.
The thing is, like, Mark Ure, he is so charming. I think the first thing I saw him in really was Something Rotten, and he was
like, in
perfect.
Why We Tell This Story.
Was he?
About this. Yeah.
He was definitely not in Why We Tell the Story. Was he in the other one?
The other one, whatever the other one was. The first one of
You
the day.
Can't Stop the Beat?
Yes, he was in that one, because he sang the Sweeney Todd song with, I can't remember who it was, but it was the, like... Yeah. No, Mark, your standout to us was last year playing Rooster in Annie.
Rooster.
Easy Street. What a highlight.
Easy Street. I had never heard that song before.
No, but also, speaking of Mark Ure, so Canadian Stage, Salt Pepper? Who's doing Cabaret?
Can Stage.
Canadian Stage is doing Cabaret next year in February. And Mark Ure making his Canadian Stage debut as Cliff Bradshaw.
Okay, I saw this today. Do we not think he's also a little old for this?
Wait, who's Cliff in love with Sally?
Yeah.
It's Sarah Farb, so...
I guess. I don't know. And we'll see. We'll see when it comes up. But yeah, I always like...
Sorry, the cast of Cabaret at Can Stage is kind of stacked. And a lot of them are making their Canadian Stage debut, which is very exciting.
No. It's a great cast.
I think it's always, like,
I just picture them as, like, so, like, young and idealist, let's say. But what do I know? Nothing.
It's so funny because, like, I have such an image of Cliff in my head from, like, when we saw it on Broadway. And, like, that's not Mark Ure.
Black.
Also, they were, like... It was just, like, so different. Although he was quite...
No, of course.
He was a lot older than, like, Alois. So, like, I don't know. We'll have to see how they play this. This is going to be a very different Cabaret than what we saw in New York, so...
Yeah. I know. I'm excited. I think the thing about Cabaret is, like, it's kind of always good.
Anyway, all this to say about Mark Ure in general, like, he is playing the lead in Something Rotten. So, like, this is a huge two-show day for this man. And I do think, like, I agree with you that, like, oh, so annoying that she marries him. But, like, let me tell you, that man plays loser so well.
No, I know. Like, it's similar kind of to what he was doing with, like, Rooster last year. Even in Something Rotten, he is giving kind of, like, loser a little bit. Like,
he's so talented. I, like, really enjoy watching him in shows.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm happy that, like, he's, you know, making his way to Toronto. That's fun.
No, I agree. I really like him a lot. Every time I see him, charming. Yeah. I guess I was just like frustrated with the plot line. I was just like, 14 years, girl. But Jen Ryder Shaw, she was selling it. He was selling it.
Her, like, I would say probably like one of the most standouts, and obviously like her, you know, standout songs. A song is, what's it called, When She Has the Cold. That is like such a fun moment. Jen Ryder Shaw is like sneezing all around the stage. I can't find the song list right now. Where are you?
Is it like Adelaide's Lament? Is it?
Yes, I believe it is Adelaide's Lament. Yes,
The first
Adelaide's
one or the second
Lament,
one?
and then we do Adelaide's Second Lament, and then honestly, anytime Jen was on stage, loved all of those songs. Like, she is so fun to watch.
She's so fun when she's even doing like the like Hotbox Girl stuff, like as Miss Adelaide.
Like A Bushel and
That
a
is really
Peck.
fun. Yes, Bushel and a Peck, and the what Take Back Your Mink from the top of Act 2. I think the girls were like, when they were singing Marry the Man Today at the end of Act 2, kind of when they're both like, oh, these losers that we're in love with, I guess we have to marry them. And I'm like,
I did laugh out loud when Dan Shermery came out wearing the Mission outfit at the end. I have to say.
Sure.
That was funny to me. She changed him for the better. He was no longer a gambler.
She changed him for the better.
You know, other standouts to me, Teddy Roosevelt, part of the Mission.
Yes, always.
It's just funny when you see shows year after year and it features the same cast on the same stage. I'm just like brought back to Teddy Roosevelt in a wheelchair singing Tomorrow with Annie, and then he's also like leading the Mission.
We're going to shout out Stephen Patterson. That's his name.
Stephen Patterson. Shout out to one of our faves, Steve Ross. Love him. His big moment, obviously, in this show is Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat. A huge song that has so much life outside of Guys and Dolls as well. But that scene was actually really fun. I really enjoyed that entire scene. I think, like, the back half of Act 2 is pretty strong to me.
That's where we get the hits. You know, that's where
the thing. We're waiting a full show to hear Luck Be a Lady Tonight. We've been sitting in this theater for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
And we're finally getting to Luck Be a Lady. Guys, we got to at least like do a little hint of it before. I've been waiting.
Yeah, the only hint of it we get is like 3 songs before. No, 1 song before that in the Crapshooters Dance. Did they do it in the overture? It might have been in the overture.
Maybe in the overture, but still. Okay, I can't be waiting 2+ hours for
No, I know. And like, speaking of the overture, I've always said this about the Festival Theater. The sound is really good in there. The band is up top. And for the first time ever, and I don't know if it's because we like ended up walking out of a door a specific way, but all of the orchestra has like photos at the theater as well. So they show you like the group photo of the orchestra for both of the shows that are playing at the Festival Theater or whatever. There's like a few shows that are playing there because it doesn't go every day. So that was nice. Yeah, I just like, it was fine to me. Like really good standout moments, really good strong performances from people, but like the show itself was just like fine. And
it did not speak to me.
No, I know it didn't speak to Steph. I was sitting beside her. It was not speaking to her. You know what though, I will also say, let's talk about who else it's not speaking to, because that entire balcony was empty on a Saturday night. So I don't know. I mean, you know, Broadway is also struggling right now heavily. Money is, everything is so expensive. Like, life is so expensive. And these tickets are expensive. I know Stratford is really good about running deals. I think it might be over by the time this episode comes out, but there's a deal at time of episode record.
There's always
things. So you do have to check because these shows are running, you know, well into the fall. But we felt this way last year when we saw Annie, and it's like, it's so disappointing to like look in a theater and see that your entire balcony has like 2 people in it. Like it's really hard, as I'm sure it's so hard as a performer on stage, but like as people that see as many shows as we do, like it's so disappointing to me.
Othello also not full, lots of empty seats. This is not a problem with Othello, I guess, but why are we starting at 8 p.m.? Like, I'm tired.
We gotta get back to Toronto.
A lot of people have done a road trip to the town to see shows and are gonna drive home that night, like us. And this is almost a 3-hour long show. We're not getting out till 11 o'clock, and then we've got an almost 2-hour drive ahead of us to go home. It's a lot probably for your performers. Now it does cause like a chain reaction if you move the evening show up to 7. Do you have to move the matinee up to 1? Like,
Shaw
do you need
Festival
that
did
turnover
it.
time? Shaw Festival does do 1 p.m. matinees.
They
now, do we
switched
have to leave earlier in the morning? Yes, we do. But
Stratford, Shaw is actually a bit further for us than Stratford. But I will say, like, and I've always felt this way because, like, the driver, I've always felt, you know, when that second show ends, I'm like, I have to focus now for 2 more hours. And I just sat in a show for almost 3. So, like, and the road coming out of Stratford is pitch black. So, like you really have to focus.
Unlit. This is why I'm trying to keep you awake by reading every Stratford musical for the past 50 years.
I know there's, like, some days when, like, there is the bus, not the GO train, but the bus that goes, like, back to the city. So, like, there are times. But honestly, and we did talk about this as well, majority of the people that go there do stay over. So that is also
that's true too.
Part of it. But this is now the second year in a row that we have seen such empty seats. And I don't know, like, is this something that the festival should be concerned about? A Saturday night should be full, as far as I'm concerned, in the summer.
Well, like, let's kind of pivot. Like, should we talk about programming? Like,
yes, let's do it.
Are we getting a little bit stale?
I mean, yeah, let's talk about the rumors.
Please. I mean, specifically this year was 2 repeats, so I can imagine people being like, well, this is I'm not running back to see something I've already seen. If you're, like, a subscriber year after year, you're like, okay, well, I saw it. So part of, like, what, I mean, and I don't know, maybe they, you know, they probably know more about us, about programming, and about why they would choose to repeat, specifically with Something Rotten, which was just 2 years ago. And we opted not to see it. I mean, if we'd seen Guys and Dolls before, who knows if we would have opted to repeat or not, or what our decision would have been, but we hadn't. So it was an easy decision to make the trip. But yeah, I think, like, with a repeat, if you weren't absolutely obsessed with it, it's like, okay, I can save my money this year and see something else, or just skip it and save it for another year. Okay, so do you have the rumors of what's coming next year for the musical specifically?
Well, firstly, do you have the name of the new artistic director? Because
I do.
Kind of where we begin, I guess.
So the new artistic director of Stratford, that was named after a kind of, like, year-long search, was is Jonathan Church. He is from the UK, and he has been he was the artistic director for the Chichester Festival Theatre in England, and he's directed musicals, plays in the UK, and he's coming over. He has dual citizenship, so through his mother he is a citizen of Canada. So there was a lot of, like, discussion, like, should we have hired a Canadian for this? I was reading about the search. They had, like, 100 applicants. They narrowed it down. They ended up interviewing, like, 20 something. Then the next round was, like, smaller and smaller until they eventually chose to hire Jonathan Church. He signed on for a 5-year term. He's already, you know, was involved in the selecting of this upcoming Stratford season, but he won't officially take his seat or assume the role until November 1st, 2026, after this season has completed.
So this is all speculation. Nothing has been confirmed, although someone on Reddit said that their best friend got called in for this part. So
yeah, it's kind of like audition notices floating around.
We're recording this on July 21st, so it is very possible that there could be, you know, a Joshua Chong Toronto Star article coming up before this episode is released, or more speculation. But as of today, the speculation is the musicals for next season are Mary Poppins and Chicago. And I swear to God. Here's the thing. I was thinking about this when I was driving home from work today. Is this how everybody felt when Anne Juliet was announced for this season at Mirvish? And we were, like, so thrilled because we love this show. Is this maybe what it is?
Maybe. Now, to be fair, Anne Juliet was here for, like, 6 weeks 4 years ago,
as
or 3.5, like 4 years ago as a pre-Broadway. And, like, it sold out by the end. Whereas these are, like, I don't know how exactly what happened with Chicago, but one, I doubt it was sold out the whole, like, by the end of the run, and it ran for the whole summer. Like, people had a chance to see it.
I just, like, again, Chicago was, like, having a moment on Broadway this year as well. People are, like, really obsessed with Chicago again, and, like, happy for them. It's just a show I just don't care about at all. And so many things to say about this. Like, again, we spoke on this earlier. Jen Ryder Shaw was amazing in Chicago. Stunning. We saw Did we not see Heather Cossack understudy
we saw Heather.
in Chicago? Amazing. You know how much we love Robert Marcus. So like the people that were in it, like Steve Ross, Dan Shamroy. Like it was a good production. I am just so tired. It's just like, can we not do anything new? And then like to your point of like, maybe we didn't talk about this on the podcast, but we talked about this in the car. We talked about it
personally.
But like, we're bringing in a new artistic director. Why are we doing the same thing? Let's
I want to see what his vision is. I want to see what his vision and his direction is. Now, this could all be fake, and we could just be outreach for nothing. But but if we're doing a repeat of like something within the last 5 or 6 years on the first season of a new artistic director, it doesn't make sense to me.
Boring.
Why are we bringing someone new in to just repeat what we've done recently? And I can understand in some ways the logic of doing something that was, let's say, a hit that the festival goers enjoyed and got like good feedback on. But how do you create new hits and new classics for the festival, or new like standout productions, if you keep repeating the ones that you've been doing? Mm-hmm. And again, this is only like the second year in a row that they're really doing this, but it is frustrating enough to me.
And it's stale. It's boring. It's annoying.
I know. And again, if it is Chicago next year, I think we'll be seeing not that
Shakespeare,
not
or an
like
original
another
play.
Shakespeare, another play, like just something different. It's funny. Mary Poppins is actually like one of my favorite movies of all time, but I've never seen the stage musical because I've just like kept it separate. But I might have to break this.
Yeah. I saw it when it was in Toronto with Mervish like many, many years ago. I think Mary Poppins is a good choice. We knew that they were casting kids.
Yeah.
That was like a rumor from months ago. And then the person on Reddit said that their best friend got called in for Bert. And I was like, who's your best friend?
Who is it?
You know, if
it's
Chicago's
not just Dan Shamroy again.
If Chicago's going to bring Robert Marcus back to the stage, fine.
Can we?
But like, oh my God, can he be Bert?
Can he be Bert? I know, I just thought that. I don't know. That's a good question.
Like, could we get a Jen Ryder Shaw, Mary Poppins, Robert Marcus, Bert?
I think she actually would be a wonderful Mary Poppins.
I know she would be so good. Should I clip that and post that? Robert, Jen, are you listening? I think Mary Poppins could be a beautiful show. I think, to bring more kids back to the festival is always a fun thing. We were kind of like haters about Annie last season, but then I actually ended up really liking that production. So I don't think this is bad. I'm so uninspired with the obsession with Chicago these days. Like, we're not bringing The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives to the Stratford stage, so why are we doing this again? Like, I just don't get it.
Whitney, what's her last name? I don't care.
Levitt.
Whitney Levitt from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like,
imagine Mark Ballas leading Chicago at the Stratford Festival.
No.
Who's back in as of like this week. So like, it's just crazy to me. Anyway, all this to say, this is like absolute speculation at this point. We're just like so uninspired by a repeat offender again, if it's true. And the news will be coming out in the next couple months.
Soonish.
So we will be updating everybody on the Stratford season in our season preview, which will be sometime in September.
Well, something we talked about in the car on the way home is what would we want to see from the musicals from the Stratford Festival. So I have a few that I just like wrote down. I don't know if you have some.
I don't remember what I said off the top of my head in the car.
No, we were talking. Okay.
I was filing some off. So
I know. Okay, so I'll list some that I kind of thought of that I think would be a good fit for.
Go ahead.
The style, just like the style of what the Stratford Festival does. Generally, like big ensembles. We want to have a dance number. We want to do something comedic a little bit. So here are some of my picks. Pippin. Okay,
great.
I think we can really do something really fun in the festival theater. I know we just saw it with Shifting Ground Collective, but The Drowsy Chaperone, I think, is a really good fit for Stratford Festival. Also a Canadian, so like a great fit. Next, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
That was your best pick of the day, I think.
I think so. It has that kind of like retro
such
style
a
that
good
they love.
Show. Yeah.
Yeah, it has like, it takes place. We can get everyone in like a fun like 50s or 60s like outfit.
Yes.
I think it just really suits what the Stratford Festival like is good at. My next one, Thoroughly Modern Millie. All of these are kind of like period pieces. But yeah, Thoroughly Modern Millie is great. And then my like not out there pick, but I want to see him do a Sondheim. I want to see a Sondheim at the Stratford Festival. I was like, my vision was Sunday in the Park with George, like at the Festival Theater. I just think that'd be really beautiful, but I'm open to any and all Sondheims.
Yeah,
really.
we were saying like, where's Sweeney Todd? Where's like something
like they have
like
done
that?
these, but
yeah,
not recently. I think they've kind of been cornering themselves a little bit in recent years. And everything that I've felt like really passionate about at the Stratford Festival has been when they've like left that thing. Like La Cage aux Folles was like, I loved when they did Rent.
Yeah, because it was so different. Like it was one, we were shocked that they were doing Rent in the first place, but then when we saw it, it felt. But also like that was Tom Allison. That wasn't Donna Fiore.
Yeah, it was not Donna Fiore. I know.
So something to think about as well.
Girl, I know.
You know, when we went through the list, they had done like HS Pinafore like 80,000 times.
HMS Pinafore. I love HMS Pinafore.
Don't even know what that is.
I love HMS Pinafore.
I think you had also said in the car like, what about a Hairspray? That could be really fun to do something like that. I think I said like Grease, which is crazy, but like something different, just to do something different. I love the pick of How to Succeed. I think that's so good. I don't know. What about like Newsies? Although I don't know if they would touch it. Oh, well, they're touching Mary Poppins. So
that's true. That's actually a good point. Like,
I didn't think they would touch Disney theatrical, but we're touching it next season.
But if we have Mary
possibly.
Something I'm seeing, I'm just like, I pulled up a list of musical comedies because I feel like their sweet spot here. She Loves Me, I think.
Yes,
like,
yes.
That would be so much fun.
So beautiful. Carousel would be good. Like, I don't know.
Like,
I think I said Ragtime.
Ragtime did...
Shaw,
One of them did Ragtime. Did Shaw do Ragtime?
I think so. Someone did Ragtime. I'm not sure. No, there's like so many things here. That's why I think it also feels so frustrating that we're like, okay, I guess we'll do something Rotten and Rent and Chicago again. Like, let's just do those again, as if there's no other musicals that exist on this entire planet. Like, that's I think the frustrating part to us, especially with like recency. Like, we just did this.
Yes.
Like, don't these actors want to do something different too?
And we have such great talented actors. I want to see them do so many things. I want to see them do everything. I want to see
someone go up there that I've seen in the ensemble year after year after year have like a starring role in a different show. Like, I just want to see something else. I don't know. We could go on and on about this for days.
No, I know.
But all that to say, like, nothing that we saw was bad. Nothing that we ever see is bad at the Stratford Festival.
No.
Everybody is so super talented there. And it's like, really, if you've never been, it is such like a lovely little town to visit. You can definitely make a weekend stay of it if you're traveling from further away. And it's just like, we love going there. Like, I'm excited to go there again next year, no matter what the show is. We'll figure it out once we know what's happening.
I agree. It's one of our favorite days of the year for sure. So
yeah.
Yes. And we also know it's more complicated because there's like licensing that they have to work out and sometimes just like what else is happening, in North America, you're influenced by that. So I know it's trickier than like we're just saying, but yeah, I want some more creativity in our programming choices.
But also at the same time, and I do think that it is like kind of important just because this is how so much of the discourse happens these days, but like read the Reddit boards, listen to the podcast episodes. Like, you should be listening to what people want to see. I think it's important to like creep a Reddit board to see the frustration of people.
Yeah. You don't have to listen to everybody, but it's interesting to take in some different opinions, but maybe they're catering to a specific audience that is not us.
That's
and
the thing too.
We have to come to grips with that too. Like, maybe they're not courting us, they're courting other people.
What other people? The balcony is empty.
No, I know, but and it's true. Like, we're not that we're like teens, but we are some of the younger audience members at these shows, and so we want to be attracting younger people to the theater, to the festival.
That's the thing.
Live on.
Like, forget.
We hired a 50-whatever-year-old new artistic director.
Yeah, like, forget what we do here as a hobby, but like, I am often at my office like telling people. You should go out to see this, or this. I don't want to be telling people like, oh, you should skip this because it was there last year and you already saw it last year. Like, that's the mentality that I think has been happening. Like, one of my friends from work, goes to Stratford every single year. Not going this year because it's not super inspired by the lineup of
choices.
things. Has already seen Guys and Dolls and has already seen Something Rotten. And they're not willing to go see the Shakespeare at this time. So it's just like, well, then there's actually no musical there for me. So
the musicals are what is calling them.
The
musicals are like the popular choices. Yeah.
All this to say, we're like yelling about this from the comfort of our homes across the computer screen. I have no idea what it takes to program a season. So
no, it's definitely so hard. But yeah, just, you know, our take on this year and potentially next year. But yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. And I'm curious to see how Jonathan Church, the new artistic director, continues to develop the festival. And I'm hoping we'll see something fun and new with this.
Yeah. Are we rating?
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Othello
I gotta
too?
think. Okay, no, I think just do Guys and Dolls. Like,
Okay.
we are not play experts here, okay? We are musical
And we're
experts.
definitely not Shakespeare experts.
No. Sometimes I'm like, am I dumb? But
Yeah.
maybe 12th Night will bring us back. Okay, I am going to rate Guys and Dolls. Wow, I'm having a hard time. 7 out of 10 fedoras.
Wow. I'm also going to give Guys and Dolls 7 out of 10 dice. It's a low 7 though, sorry.
I agree, it is low 7. It almost went 6, but then I was like, that seems crazy.
Yeah. And we don't give
Like,
0.5s
I
on this
wasn't that mad.
podcast, so that's why we're here. Anyway, all this to say, if you are interested in seeing Guys and Dolls, it is running from now until November 1st. Wow, that's when he takes over. At the Festival Theater. If you're interested in seeing Othello, that one closes a bit earlier. It's on from now until September 27th. And while we're here, if you're interested in seeing, you know, the other musical of the season, Something Rotten, that runs until Halloween. So, yeah, that is our thoughts on this season at the Stratford Festival. And now it's time for our Obsession of the Week. And in a rare turn of events, I'm starting today. So my obsession this week is something that I have referenced so many times on different episodes, but I've never given it the glory of Obsession of the Week. So I, today, I'm going to give the spot to Hannah Lowther's vlogs, Legally Vlogs.
Wow.
Steph knows I am a loyal viewer. You are a loyal I watch
viewer.
weekly. And I learned today, in the episode that came out today on July 21st, they're about to go on a 2-month break. So they've been on tour since January. You know, we saw this production. I wonder if in that time they're going to announce the West End transfer that is like rumored to be happening, which is so funny because in our London recap episode, we were like, there's no way this show is transferring to the West End. And now they're doing the Broadway method of like putting posters up around the city of London of like Legally Blonde paraphernalia. So it's most likely going to transfer. Anyway, all this to say, I absolutely love watching a behind the scenes of what happens with all of these actors. I've always been a loyal viewer of the Broadway.com vlog, so this is basically just an elevated version of this. Hannah is such a good person to have a camera in her hands because she is really filming everything. She's also such an interesting person in general to film this portion of her life because she is understudy Elle Woods. So sometimes we watch her, you know, do her Thursday show and then the rest we'll see her do her Margot track. All this to say, my favorite part of this entire series has been the cast playing traitors. And it ended today. That's why I wanted to bring this up. The Faithfuls won, but they did eliminate multiple Faithfuls. And they do have someone in the cast. I don't know if they're in the cast or if they're in stage management, but they dress up as Claudia, including the bangs. There's a wig that they're wearing. And today's episode, Sprout, the dog, was wearing the Claudia wig. So that was really important to me. They split 90 pounds between 2 people. So that's my obsession this week. I love her vlogs and I hope that she continues this for like any show that she's in. But she's also like really fun to watch. She has a podcast as well. Or she's all over social media. So yeah, that's my obsession. Steph?
Wow, so fun. What's my obsession? Well, recently I had the opportunity to see a show without Tara.
I knew it.
A rare.
I knew this was a
rarity.
Yeah.
Me and my mom went to go see the concert presentation of Heated Rivalry, the unauthorized musical parody at Soul Pepper. And we have to talk about it. You have to hear about it. It was actually really, really funny. We had such a good time. Me and my mom both are huge fans of both the television show and of the book series. We've read them all.
For people listening, you actually don't know how big of a fan Steph is of the Heated Rivalry franchise.
We've really been normal about this on the podcast, I think. Big fan of the show and of the books. So when there was a concert presentation of the musical that's been playing off Broadway for a couple months now at this point, I had to go. And I have to say, for a concert presentation, they were charging $80 a ticket, which I think is not reasonable. Because we went to a 10 p.m. show and those were less sold, we ended up paying $30
why I opted out.
for the
It
tickets.
was at 10 p.m. on a Sunday, and I had a Shania Twain interview the next day.
That was important. But yeah, so me and Mom, we went. It was only 80 minutes long, so it wasn't super long.
Yeah.
And we were home by like 11:30, so it really wasn't crazy. But to be honest, not 11:30. We were home by like 12:30. Sorry.
Yeah.
We were home by 12:30. But it wasn't a crazy length, and it wasn't so bad that it was at 10 o'clock. But it was kind of funny that we're like driving to Soul Pepper Theater at 10 p.m.
Yes, on a Sunday. Yeah.
On a Sunday night. But I really have to say it was very, very funny. I had read an interview in Glenn Sumi's newsletter, which I'm subscribed to, with the creators of the show, and they talked about, how they had to like kind of meet the moment because the TV show only came out in like November, December, and the phenomenon that it became. And so to kind of write this and turn it around so quickly and to have it be, I say, as good as it is like a great feat for them. It's very funny. It follows the plot of the show, but it kind of like veers in ways just for like comedic effect. The characters are obviously like much more exaggerated than they are in the TV show. And it's kind of, the framing device is like a kind of wine mom who's obsessed with the show. So to see it with my own mom was very funny. And in that way, it kind of captured like both the television show, but also like wove in the phenomenon that it had become. So like it was playing with that as well. Highlights include the song Big Ass Cold Heart, sung by Ilya.
There's any recordings of anything, right? Like musically?
No. No, I don't think so. I think there's just like little like commercials.
Clips. Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a lot. Something that I think you would appreciate a lot is there are lots of musical references in the show. So there were many, but one of the ones that like made me crack up and everyone else was when they go to the coffee shop where Kip and Scott meet. They do like a waitress reference. It's like, instead of like sugar, butter, flour, it's like strawberry smoothie. It was very funny. When Shane gets, I'm like really spoiling, when Shane gets knocked out on the ice, he's like, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory, like the full like Hamilton. They do like a full Hamilton. Ilya sings like I am deformed about his big butt. It was very funny. We had a good time. They like, the character of Scott Hunter is played by a gay man in the audience that they just like pull up.
I was supposed to say, what if there's not a gay man there, but there's obviously a gay man?
There's obviously a gay man in the audience.
It's also going to Off West End. I don't know exactly when, but if it's not already happening, it's about to happen.
It's about to happen. So yeah, it's currently still running off Broadway, starring J. Armstrong Johnson and Jim and Moon. Then they did this kind of like 5 or 6 performance here in Toronto. It's only like concert reading version at Soul Pepper. And then it just had a sort of similar short run at Just for Laughs in Montreal with like the same cast that went over. And yeah, I think they're looking for more Canadian like location or dates because one of the writers is Canadian himself. So yeah, honestly, it was just like a fun, good time. If you have seen the show,
half the cast of Anne Juliet was in your audience.
That's true. Well, because it was like a Sunday at 10 p.m. So Vanessa Sears sat right in front of me. Matt Raffi was like behind me to the side. Like I was like looking around. I was like, who do I see?
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments. I can't remember what like the lyrics were, but when they're on the like bicycles and it's kind of like a Charlie XCX like song, and they were at the bicycle, or like sometimes they were like playing hockey,
right?
Like they were moving, a real spoiler for the end. Now, like, really skip 15 seconds ahead if you don't want to hear this. They did rip their pants off and we saw their butts at the end. So that was...
James Daly.
James Daly. We saw your butt. A perfect Ilya. A great Ilya.
Yeah. The other thing that was, like, slightly annoying to us was that the guy that plays Shane is not Canadian. I was like, but we're doing it in Canada. Like, please. We can't find anybody in Canada to do
Nobody's
this.
Asian?
Yeah. Like,
Nobody's
what's going
Asian?
on here? No, the other thing, too, I think part of the thing that we were talking about with it being $80 at Soul Pepper is that in Montreal, it was like $40 in a huge theater. Like, it was playing in a huge space. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess they got what they wanted out of this.
No, like, some of the performances were sold out. People were excited to be there. A lot of people in the audience. There were theater people in the audience, but people in, you know, merch for the show, like Raiders jerseys, Metros jerseys. Like, the guy who played Scott Hunter was in, like, a Montreal Metros baseball cap.
Like, authentically, like, they didn't give it to him.
Authentically, he just arrived in the Montreal Metros baseball cap because he was such a fan. I think he was there by himself. He just, like, was a fan.
Love that.
Shout out to so many people. Shout out to Shakura Dixon, who played many people, but I think her highlight role was Maria, the girl at the smoothie shop who just says girl.
Yeah.
And she really, one, she kind of looks like her, but also that song where she sang girl multiple times was really funny. It really, like, they really capitalized on the moment of fandom. And, like, by turning it around so quickly and releasing it and having it actually be, like, funny and good. I don't know.
Because, you know, so many of these, like, parody shows exist, and not all of them are
some of them
that
are a bit
funny.
Cringe. But, yeah, this one, and again, like, we were a warm audience because, you know, I'm a fan.
It's
like,
fans.
I'm ready. But it was funny. And especially, like, it played into, like, the perfect combination of my interests, musicals and trash romance novels.
Now hockey romances.
No, but, like, you know,
Yeah.
we're melting things that I love.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my obsession this week. Keita Beverly, Leanna Arthur's musical parody. Was so happy that I went. Mom thought it was funny too.
That's good. And it might be coming to a city near you. So, you know,
hopefully,
keep a lookout. I think their
so.
Instagram page has been posting, like, where they've been going.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our obsessions. That's our thoughts on the Stratford Festival this season. That's it. I'm trying to think. Do we have a next episode even to tease here? Maybe Funny Girl, if we're going to do a Funny Girl episode, but I'm not sure that we are.
We're heading to Shaw, so to see Funny Girl.
Yeah.
We've got some more West End shows to kind of record and release coming up. We've got our season previews coming up. Like, it's a fun summer and fall coming up, so we'll see.
Yeah, we're about to almost end the Mirvish season. And then the new season will be starting in the next couple months after, you know, we lose the theaters to TIFF for a bit, and then the new season starts. So there's, like, so much actually to look forward to in the fall, which is very exciting.
Get ready for our Hell's Kitchen episode.
Oh my gosh.
She's coming.
I never thought that would happen, to be honest.
But I think it's going to happen.
It is going to happen for sure.
I know.
And you know what?
So there you go.
We'll be singing Empire State of Mind in the theater with the rest of the audience for the curtain call.
But
mark
not
my
the
words. Rap. Not the rap. No.
The rap is not in the show.
No. Okay, that's it for this episode. If you want to listen to any of our other episodes, you can subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe there and leave us a comment.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Off to Broadway Podcast with the number 2, or on TikTok at Off to Broadway.
And if you see our Stratford TikTok video, Shara made that. So, you know, go give her a like for that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.